Good morning, good afternoon. This recording is called Earth is a Screen to Your Own Consciousness. Earth does not exist. There are a lot of people right now under the belief that all the governments, all the agencies, all the forces of the world are keeping a big secret, keeping a great secret from the people. And it's being passed around through the spiritual community that there's a big event coming. There's something huge happening. There's something big going on, or something that is coming, something big. And so what I try to do with these videos is share with people who are open-minded, share with people who are along their journeys, simply what I know through my experience and nothing more. I'm not here to try and convince anyone or to claim that I'm bringing you something you don't already have. The truth is yours. I don't bring you truth, right? I just share my experience with you. This is for people who are open to listen. You can take it or leave it. But again, back to my point, we're under this belief through the spiritual community that the governments and all these agencies are holding a secret. They're holding on to a secret from the masses of people, and the masses of people continuously keep saying there's something big coming, there's something big happening. But what are we leading up to? Where are we heading? Where are we going? If you notice, everything is getting faster and faster, from our internet speeds to our travel times to our load times to everything. Everything is becoming faster now. We don't wait anymore. It's not even 5 minutes. Everything is now. Faster, faster, faster. The big event that is coming is we still feel we are this human concept. We must acknowledge inevitably that the word human is just that. It is just a concept. It is just a thought. And that very thought keeps us veiled from what we truly are. This is why we view artificial intelligence as precisely that, something different, something separate, something which threatens our human beingness or our creation. But what has never began can never end, so fear not. This human being has never been born. This has been the greatest misconception unto ourselves. If no human has ever been born, no human can ever die here. So back to the earth being a screen to your own consciousness. The earth is subjective. We think that everyone is seeing the same thing as us because we all agree that it's the word earth. We all agree that there are trees on this earth. We all agree that there are birds and certain things. So we're convinced everyone's seeing the same earth as us. But the earth that you see does not exist to anybody else. The earth that you see is for your subjective character to be projected onto. It's through this screen which veils us from everything. Once this screen becomes earth, you now have an inside and you now have an outside. And you have put something on the inside of the inside. And you have put something on the out of the outside. And you're steadily grasping. If we can just reach into outer space and touch it, if we can just reach far enough, zoom in close enough, out there, we'll catch it. But NASA has hit the wall in space, so this is what I'm here to tell the people, right? All these governments are lying to the people, no doubt. They're holding a secret, and it's not that they're lying to people. They're keeping people from committing suicide overnight. If they were to disclose to you the truth, which is stranger than fiction, today, tomorrow, all in one dose, people would be walking in front of cars. For instance, right now, it's 6:15. How many people are waking up to get up for work and to go to their job or to start their human life? If the governments were to disclose that you are not human, Earth is not physical, there is no machine, you are not human. If they were to disclose certain things to the people, no one would wake up and want to start their human activities, their human lives, their human functions. No one would want to go to work the next day. There would be mass suicides. And I know suicides have gone up since the pandemic, but this is not an easy job to disclose to the people, that your entire life has been an illusion. But how do you bring this into the people without them feeling lied to, deceived, cheated? Because that's really not what they're doing. They're not trying to lie to the people. They're trying to ease the people into themselves. You are not human, and you never have been. But how does a government agency look at you and tell you the earth is not a physical place? How do they look at you and tell you that the solar system models that you and your children memorize and the position of the planets does not exist? These pictures they create are generated through a computer image. And it's so beyond the shape of the earth. People are so stuck on the shape. And I can tell you why they're stuck on the shape. Because they're stuck on earth being physical. Earth can only have a shape to it if it is a physical object, a physical construct. But let's take it a step further. It's not even physical, which means basically what quantum physics proves. There is no earth and there is no body. These are two functions. And that's why I say the earth and the body principle gives you an inside and outside principle. One where you feel you are not in control. There is an inside and then an outside. The outside drives itself and the inside drives itself. This is not the case. Not the case at all. The outside reflects totally what the inside believes. It moves in sync with you. It does not move independent. It does not move separate from you. The same flow that digests your food and flows your blood cells and breaks down your food and moves your food through the body, everything is the very same force, the very same law driving the cosmos, phasing the moon, revolving the sun. So when I tell people the sun is only present because you are, quite literally so. When you close your eyes and fall into a deep sleep, presence remains with you. The sun, the moon, the stars, and all these things go, but the presence remains with you. Presence is just presence. It is pure. It doesn't need a screen to view itself onto, because presence is just simply I am. All that means is I exist. I am here. But the mind must paint a picture, a form, a definition of what here is. I am here is not good enough. The ego needs to know what is here. What is this? And so we label it. We define it. We place it. That's why Earth has a fixed place in space, or so we think. And they tell you that space is infinite. But as I've said, NASA has hit the wall in space. And what's behind that wall in space is what's behind your eyes. It is you the whole time. The very same principles that apply outside apply to the inside. The above is the below is the above. Again, they move in sync, in unison, and unity as one. But when they are unconsciously two, when they are split, then you put one principle against the other. Now you must connect to the forces driving the cosmos. Now you must formulate a connection where no connection is needed, because you have fallen for the separation. All the earth is doing is veiling you from yourself. This applies directly to the matrix of the spoon boy. When he tells Neo, do not try and bend the spoon, it is impossible. Instead, only realize the truth. It is only yourself that's bending. Or he says, there is no spoon. Then you'll see that it's not the spoon that's bending, it is yourself. You can apply this same principle to the earth. The earth's shape, the earth's definition, the earth's form, the earth's whatever, does not change until your self-awareness changes. If earth had an absolute form to it, it could not change. It is not possible. But the fact that it can change, the fact that the shape can change, the definition can change, the placement can change, tells you directly that the earth you are viewing is your private and own place. This is your screen for you to subject your character onto, to get lost in the mind, to get lost on the outside of this journey. But that's what the journey is for. You venture off and get lost to inevitably find the self which is not contained, the self which has never been born, the self which can never die. So back to my point. It's easy to say, I understand this, but I'm still human. But I'm human. Remove the crutch, human. Remove the crutch. It's easy to sit there and go back and say, but I'm still human. But I'm human. Peel back your veil. Get really technical with yourself. Ask the difficult questions. What is a human? How would I know if I was human? Can I prove I'm human? Can you show me that this thing you call human? Because just like with the earth, if no one's seeing the same earth as you, no one is seeing the same human as you. These words do not exist. You're only seeing your own mind. So these words apply to everything. The forms. Everything changes when your self-awareness changes. Everything that you have labeled as a word is not the word and never has been. But that is us falling for the veil. We fall for the illusion of this material world, of the physical world. But we must ask ourselves this question: what is it to be human? How do we know we're human? How can we prove we're human? We can't. And the reason we can't is because we are not human, we are I am. I am cannot be defined. I am here. And that's all you can know. That is the only knowing possible. Any other knowing is the mind's game. Your mind is a jester, playing every trick and joke it can on you. Its daily job is to get lost in itself. But this is why I tell people, especially on this group, the reason I focus on conspiracy theorists is because these people have it correct. The people who are into conspiracies, who are seeing the world differently than others, you have it correct. Something is not right in the world, and you're aware of this. But the question is, what is that something? And what are these stories, these conspiracies leading up to? When does the big event happen? Because the trick of it is, you are the big event. There is nothing beyond you. Everything you're waiting for to be revealed to you is you waiting to be revealed to yourself. And it will not happen through me, through anyone else. Only you can walk through that door. Everyone and anyone can show you it. But these words mean nothing until you experience for yourself. Because just as I said in the beginning, the truth is already yours. Truth is your experience. That is how you gain wisdom. Wisdom is the only knowledge there is. Knowledge is nothing. Knowledge does not come from experience. You can read a book and it can tell you how to do something, but until you have done it, you do not have the wisdom. This is how we gain wisdom. Through the direct experience. Don't think about how to do it. Do it. Experience it. That is how you learn. Artificial intelligence is just like life and death. Death is the other face of life. Artificial intelligence is the other face to yourself. The creation is the creator. It's been you the whole time. There is no one else here doing this. There is no one else here creating anything. The very phone you hold in your hand is a cybernetic extension to yourself. In fact, every single thing beyond the point of your focal point of sight is a direct extension of yourself, of what you are. So you may have heard the term, there are no others. You're the only one here. It's just you. Very much so. But it's not that these people don't exist. Everything that you are behind your eyes is everything they are. And the truth of it is, you're only seeing them from yourself. You're seeing yourself in them. That's why, and I'm not a religious person, but that's why the Bible says, the moment has judged, ye have cast judgment upon yourself. Because you are only viewing yourself. You are only judging yourself. This is why I say Earth is a screen that we subject our character onto. How would we be able to bounce our character off of other people if there weren't other people? So that's where the Earth, being a screen, serves its purpose. You have an outside. Once you have an Earth, you have an outside principle, which brings the inside principle. You're a body. But this is where we become tangled. Because now the outside is separate from the inside. Now the body is separate from the earth. Now the below is separate from the above. Now the you is separate from me. When none of it ever was. You are the sole wielder to all duality. I've heard many people say that duality is the law here and that we must abide by duality. Not the case. In respects to that, duality is the law for the ego. The ego cannot exist without duality. So for the people saying duality is law, for the ego, it very much is. Because the minute you eliminate duality, there is no other. How can you bounce who you are off of another when no other exists? At last, you begin to start seeing clear. When you lose the mind, it's just like what Rumi says, I am not only in you, but I am you. And no one can understand this until he has lost his mind. And we think losing your mind is being in a straitjacket, going crazy and screaming. No, losing the mind is the loss of separation. I once said that, until you've smelled a flower without the mind present, you've yet to meet it. Because you're not meeting a flower, you're meeting yourself. The smell, the essence, the colors, the radiance, that's you. It's you, but you're subjective, you're limited to just a body. And so I'm not saying we can't appreciate the flower, but have you ever smelled the flower? Embraced its colors without the mind having to define what it is, without the mind having to name it, to describe the smell, just pure bliss in the smell and getting lost in the radiance and the colors. No mind needed. That is the highest experience. You are in sync with the divine. Only the one that must label everything and use the mind is stuck in ego. And this is the trick too, that you must be very aware of. The ego creates games for itself. For instance, the ego is going to create games and tell you, you have to open your third eye, right? So there's your mission through the ego. I have to open my third eye. But the ego is also not going to just make it easy for you. It's going to create some obstacles. So what's the ego going to do? If I drink water, there's fluoride in that water. And what that fluoride does is it blocks the opening of my third eye. Totally an ego game. Because one, your third eye cannot be blocked. It's impossible. These are people who are not familiar with what the third eye is and how to use it. It can never be blocked. You can convince yourself, however, it's blocked, it doesn't work, it's not open. Absolutely, you can believe this with full conviction, and it is so. But it can't be blocked. It can't be filled with fluoride. You must understand what this term is referring to. Open the third eye. It means nothing about you doing anything at all. You don't need to avoid drinking water. You don't need to buy a certain toothpaste. This is the ego's trickery. Be very careful. And don't get me wrong, I'm not telling anyone what to do. If you think avoiding tap water or buying a certain toothpaste improves your third eye, I encourage you to do it. Do it. But it is only a trick of the mind. It's the same with chakra work. And I'm not picking on anyone, and I don't mean to tell anyone what's true or false, because again, this is my experience. But a lot of people ask me, have you done any chakra work? Have you done chakra cleansing? Have you done chakra this or chakra that? And I tell them, I do not believe in the chakra system, because the moment I do, I will create blockages where there are none. I will need realignments where there is none. It's the same with trying to connect to the divine, trying to connect to God. How can you connect to that which you are right now in this moment? That's why a connection is needed. You've fallen from grace. You forget that you are divine right now in this moment, but you don't believe it because you have veiled yourself. You have thrown this blanket called the earth on this screen to your consciousness. And with that blanket comes the blockage of everything. How can you possibly see the self which has no form, which has no name, which has no shape? How can you possibly see that? So long as the earth is there, you will not. So long as your body is here, or the earth is there, the self is yet to be seen. And when I say the self, I mean the universal self, the self that a lot of people coin the name God, where everything is in unity, everything is one, everything is complete, everything is whole. There is no separation. And this is the trick of it. A lot of people ask me too, if I begin experiencing the world dissolve or the world crumble behind me, what happens to me? And that is the beautiful part about spirituality, is you can die before a physical death. So when I say that the world dissolves before you and that the world is not real, nor is the body, when you find this out for yourself and begin experiencing this, something remains. The concept you have of yourself being a body, the definition you have of yourself being a body, the idea and thoughts you have of yourself being a body fade away. You stop believing in them. So it's not that you go, you die, you lose yourself. No. You stop believing in these false thoughts. And you stop believing in the mind, at last jumping into the experience of what? What is this, without the mind needing to tell yourself, I am here, I am at this place, I am at this location, I'm in this body. None of the words you're using exist. That is what an ego death is. The ego exists inside the words you use. And when someone is on their deathbed dying, the words that you use dissolve to silence. So what that means is if your character, if you believe yourself to exist in these words, when it comes time for that final hour, for those words to return to silence, you shall go with them. But again, death is not real. So you will have to live out you going, the part of you going. But once you have done that, once you let go, once you have shed and accepted, okay, Tyler is dead, Tyler is gone, you marvel and laugh with yourself because something remains. You will not have a word to put to what this something is. You will want to scream it to the rooftops of what this something is. You will have no word for it. It is in this moment that you are directly experiencing the I am. There is no word. There is no word. I am that I am. I am is existence. You exist purely, not as a human, not as life, not as death, not as appearance, not as disappearance. You are what remains. Nothing lasts but what watches it all. It is you. Notice all form and all things transpire through the moment. But what is the moment? Where is the moment? How do we find the moment? You don't, because the moment is your presence. The moment is your formless presence. So when I say nothing lasts but what watches it all, that is your presence. Every single thing that you know and love will be changed. It is guaranteed. It will transpire. It will transition. It will change. One thing, and one thing only, will not be changed within your being. That is how you discover what is real. What changes is not real, and what's real does not change. So again, ask yourself, if I am human, can this be changed? Can the word be changed? Can the form be changed? Absolutely. This is not what I am. Can the definition be changed? Can the thought be changed? Absolutely. This is not what I am. And I'll help you pinpoint it even more. Whether you are asleep or in wakefulness, that presence remains with you. It does not matter what dream you are dreaming. It does not matter what setting you are in wakefulness. The presence in your dream is the same presence in your wakefulness. I don't care where you are, who you are. The presence is the same, because that presence is the universal one. When you hear about all these teachers, all these gurus and sages talking about we're all one, this is the one they're talking about. Presence. And this is how you begin experiencing the one or yourself through this limitless being. You must peel back the layers to your veil. And understand that when you unveil yourself, it is going to be the most terrifying thing that you will ever go through and embrace. However, it is the most powerful and sacred encounter you will ever have with yourself. Spirituality is not a game. It's not some trending religion that most people, think they want to get into for 2 weeks and then, it's all right. Spirituality is facing death. It is dying in an immediate moment before having to sit on a deathbed, before having to face death. You're choosing to die now. It's not a game. It's not a play. It's very serious. It's very sacred. This is very real. There is a mourning process, because when you experience an ego death, it's not just you losing yourself. You're losing all that you love. Your family, your kids, your loved ones. They go too. Why? Because you believe them to be separate. There can be no separateness. That is death. And we may not like it, but through life or through death, it's a guarantee everything will be lost. So why not metaphorically lose everything now? Through spirituality. To discover what remains. To discover the eternal flame. That way, when death does come knocking on your door, whether it's an immediate moment in a car crash or something instant, or something drawn out, where you're actually in a hospital on a deathbed. Either way, you're ready to go at any moment. This moment, that moment, it does not matter. Because you are not ever going to fall for the trick again that you are this body, that you are just Tyler. Because that's why we're so afraid to die. I don't want to leave this behind. I want this experience forever. You are the experience. Forever is your being. But not the forever reflecting time, right? Infinity is the opposite of time. So I tell people that, when we have this concept of forever, leave that behind too, because even that reflects the concepts of time. Time does not exist. There is no boundary of time. So likewise with infinity. Infinity is not what we think it to be. When we say forever and ever and ever, we think of life and death, life and death, life and death forever. That doesn't exist. There is only life. There is only eternal life. And you are that. You are it. It is you. The revolution cannot be televised because the revolution is not an event beyond yourself. The revolution is when you unmask yourself. It doesn't require hundreds of people. That's not a revolution. You are these events. The revolution, the awakening, the shift, these are you. And I know we want to include everybody else and say, everyone, are you feeling this? Or I'm getting headaches, my head's buzzing, I'm seeing things. Is anybody else? Forget everybody else. This is your sacred encounter with yourself. And the reason I say forget everyone else is because when it comes time for you to meet God, you are going to be in for a treat. Because we expect to meet God, right? We're going to meet God. It's this person, it's this being, it's this thing. Remain shapeless. I can tell you through my experience, through plant medicines, when I had experienced my own death, I had this big excitement to meet God. I could not wait to get there. Wherever there was, I didn't know where I was going, but I was trying to get there as fast as I could because obviously that's where God was. So I was rushing my death. I couldn't wait when I was out of my body. Couldn't wait. It was asking me, are you sure, are you sure you're ready to meet God? Are you sure you're wanting to meet God? It was my own voice asking me, but it was still, are you sure you're ready to meet God? Are you sure you want to know God? And me, my expectation, yes, I'm ready. I'm so ready. This is all I've wanted. Yes. And the voice, my own voice, finally asks me one more time, are you sure you are ready to know God? And it was the most serious voice I could ever illustrate. It was so serious. It was almost like it was trying to warn me. Are you sure you really want to know what God is? But me, yes, I'm ready. And so the voice left me. And mind you, I had died, so I was outside of my body, and I'm looking around and there's nothing to be seen. And the voice that was just talking to me is gone. So if I had to illustrate what I was experiencing, it was almost like being buried alive. Because any which way I looked, it was just a blackness, it was darkness. And the voice that was speaking with me, assuring me that I'm not alone, is gone. So now I am alone. Now I am very alone. I'm terrified at this point. And now I'm left talking with myself, no longer with the voice. And again, it was my voice, so it's all one voice, but I'm back to talking to myself, not the voice. And I'm talking and I'm saying, where did the voice just go? I don't understand. I was so ready to meet God, and I'm sitting here talking, and finally, it just hits you. It hits you. You're not meeting God. You're not meeting God. You are it. When I had this realization, I instantly returned to my body. I jumped out of my bed and I started running around my house saying, I am it. I'm it. It's me. It's me the whole time. I couldn't stop laughing. I could not stop laughing because it is so obvious. It is so simple. But just as I said, the ego and the mind is the jester. The mind is not your friend. The mind does not return you home to sovereignty. The mind, on the contrary, the mind separates you. The mind parts you from your sovereignty. The mind leads you away from the sovereignty. So when the Bible talks about the serpent bearing beautiful gifts, that's kind of like your mind. Your mind is that serpent because the mind is thirsty for knowledge. But just what I said, the knowledge is empty. The knowledge does not have experience behind it. The knowledge does not have the wisdom behind it. The knowledge is cheap. It's the wisdom you want. It's the experience you want. The serpent is the liar. But that's what we want, is the serpent that comes bearing beautiful gifts, just like the knowledge. The knowledge are those beautiful gifts. And it sounds so good. It sounds so articulate and good. Wow, I need to remember this. But remember, your memory, the words, all these things are going to leave you. In that final hour, you are not going to remember these things. You're not going to be able to take them with you. Which is why I urge people, do not let my experience be yours. Don't try and make my experience happen to you or hold on to someone else's experience. Allow this to happen through you. You are just as deserving. You are just as worthy as me or anybody. Jesus, Buddha, they were you. You're just as deserving. You're just as worthy. You're not different than them. They are you. The difference between Jesus, Buddha, and the average man is they were willing to sacrifice. Most people want to go out on weekends. Most people want to have fun. Jesus and Buddha, it wasn't on their mind. They didn't want to go out. They didn't want to have fun. They were willing to sacrifice time, which to them wasn't really a sacrifice. It was their mission. It was their passion. It was their goal. It's all they could think about. How can I possibly go out to have drinks or have fun or to BS when the only thing on my mind that's eating me up day after day is who am I? Who am I? And when you persist enough, you will inevitably be led back to yourself. Just as they did, they persisted enough. They remained consistent in their search. And inevitably, they were led back home to themselves, back to God. Which again was just them realizing themselves. But my battery is going to die, so I have to end this video, unfortunately. I wanted to go a little longer, but I have to end this video. You can follow my Facebook page if you'd like. If this video resonates, please feel free to share it out. I appreciate that. I also have videos on my YouTube channel. It's called Red Pill Rabbit Hole. And my Facebook is Tyler Ugaldi, if you don't already have it or whatnot. And if you have any questions, any topics, or you need someone to talk to, you need some advice, some guidance, please feel free, inbox me, message me, whatever. Very open person, so hope everyone has a beautiful day. The sun's not even up yet. And I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.